Good morning again. This is Dr. Bill White. I want to talk to you about an unusual series of cases that I had. One of them was a young man that I treated from his youth up, and he was a Class II Division I case and had a huge overjet, and I treated him, and as I got further down the line, they just corrected out, and I'll show it to you. After several years, he was setting out here almost ideal. He married, and then he had his offspring with two young men that were identical twins, and each of these boys had their teeth were very much like their father's teeth, and we carried them through treatment, and they turned out like his treatment. And so if you, I'm going to go back and show you the whole case after this, but I thought I might just talk to you a minute and tell you how genetics goes down the line like that. It is amazing to me. This is the case now. I treated the father in 1973, and he married sometime after that and had these identical twin sons, and each one of them looks so much like him. I'll show you that as we go through these cases, and I'll try not to take too much time here to do that. This is the father, and he will look very much like his sons. That's the different views of him. And he had a pretty bad Class II problem, and we worked on it. And then as he got a little bit down the line, he grew in my favor. And I mean, in other words, the Class II kind of corrected itself. I didn't do all the work in getting this motor and this stuff forward. It ended up, and I'm going to show you his finished models, almost ideal right in here, you know. And we'll just show it to you as we get on down the road here a little bit. But it was fascinating that after about, I think it was 24 years or something, these boys, or in 97, I believe, where we're working on them. And we'll go through. This is the father's models. It's Class II on both sides, Class II Division I. And this is in 1973 when we did this. And these pictures are that old. In other words, it's 73 to 2000 is about, what is it, 27 years, something like that. And then from there to 18 is 37, and 8 added on to that gets it up about 45 years, about close to that. Anyway, we'll go on, and that's his father's teeth, the way they looked. He's got this chip in that one. I don't know whether you can see that later on, but you can kind of follow through there. Now here he is. Now this is not up to date, but this is several years, a few years back, but after he had grown completely and he had his sons and everything, he kind of put on a little weight and his profile and everything. And now his teeth are just ground in at that point. I think I had him in retainer, and he wore it a while, and but it let the teeth erupt into each other, and there'll be a few things in there that are flawed, but this is his teeth in the front, from the side it's class 1, and from the top, and I think, I can't see it, but I think there's a little flaw right in that tooth right there. That's the one that he had a chip on when he was a kid there. Now there he is again from the side. Now, here, let me go back and see. Let me get here. All right, this are the 3 models. This is the father right here, and one of the sons and the other son. And this one, the malocclusion was worse and a little harder to work with. The other one was pretty easy. It came on in, but we finished this one after he got a little older. It grew right into place. But it took me a little bit longer to work on this twin than the other. Now these are supposed to be identical twins, but of course they're not identical. And here's another view of their models. But to me, this is remarkable. Here's the father, and 20-some years later has 2 identical twins, and I'm wondering if they aren't very close to the same way. So that's what was interesting about this case. So if you get a child that's class 2 like that real bad, and you look at the parents and both of them are out here normal, you might kind of hold off a little bit, because that child may grow out there after he gets a little bit older. And if you knew how their parents grew and everything, it would kind of help you make your decision on treating one. That's correct. Now, let's see. Here is the dad with the 2 sons at a little, that's wasn't at the very finish of this. This was earlier on, because he shaved this off and he gained a little weight in there. So in that time, yeah, this is one of the boys. I think it's the one that had the worst problem. And here he is starting off, and there's and he's got a crossbite, and he must have a lot of functional problems too, but he inherited a lot of this ability for it to end up like that. Now we're going, this is 1997, and we treated the father in 73. So this is 24 years after we treated the father. And there's the other side of him, the upper and the lower. And here we were able to finish him out, and this is this picture is in 8/4/05 right there. And that's his, and it treated out really nice, and I really would question that, how we got it out there, but actually it grew in my favor. And sometimes that happens, and you're very glad for it to, that looks nice, you see. That's his, let's see, that's the upper and lower, and he's got a kind of a woven 3-3 on the bottom down there, and that's another view of it. And here is his older pictures. He's gotten a little older. No, that's not finished because he's still got his braces on there. Now let's see. This is the other boy. I'm sorry, I get mixed up here myself. This is the other son, and he's treatment. And here are his models. Let me go back like that. And he wasn't as bad as the malocclusion wasn't as bad some images on the other brother. I don't know which one was born first and got problems and all this. Okay, here is the second son, and he's a little bigger, seems to me, like than the other boy. They're not so close that I don't know why they call them identical, but they're not. But we finished him out, and he worked out just real good and a little bit quicker than the other son. And they both got a kind of a retruded mandible, but probably if you watch them when they get in their 20s, this probably will come out. I've had young men that didn't come out farther. Their dad was out there, and I'll bet if we could get some pictures of them, that this moves out a little bit. Even I've had them in the 21 and 22 even grow some. The boys will grow a lot longer than young ladies. Now once in a while you'll get a young lady that's got more male hormones or whatever it is, and they're probably tomboyish type girls that will grow a little longer than normal young ladies will. Most of the time young ladies will be through growing when they're 13 or 13 and a half, maybe 14. But some will grow them a little further than that. But that's the way he looked when we got these pictures. I don't have the exact date of that, but it's about it's 05, 7105, right there. And he finished out just about like his dad and his brother, and we've got him in a retainer there, and that's pretty well there. That's 6 of 05. And there's the little arch. Excuse me. Okay. Now that finishes this video. I hope you gained something from it. I didn't try to go in and show you how we corrected and all the stuff. I've got a stack of other pictures on all of these cases, and we'll keep them in our files back here. But anyway, this was so interesting to me that the father treated and about the same time grew out and helped me in correcting the class 2, and now he's just perfect class 1, and these two boys have come along pretty bad. One of them was really pretty bad, class 2, and we worked on it and everything, but when it grew out with us, man, it was able to, we were able to finish it, and it just looks really good. And I think it'll stay that way through his life. So I thank you for watching, and hope you get something out of this. So I'll sign off here now. And let me move this over and stop this.